Welcome everybody. Let's take a look what's happening in the market. Start with the daily chart and the Dow Jones Transportation here. Yeah, pretty big down day, 203 in range. You can see the red day right there. Let's just zoom in on this a little bit better. Yeah, big old red day here. There is a cycle low here, obviously on September 12th that we're eyeballing. It's about 9 calendar days away. So far it's got up here kind of chopping sideways. Might see a little dippy do here. But it doesn't look like it really wants to pull back very much. So this may not be a strong pullback. Okay, let's take a look at the Russell 2000. Big, huge pullback here today. A range of 61. So a big red day. September 23rd is the cycle low there. And that's about 20 calendar days away. This one's definitely got a little bit more momentum going on. Heading that way, that could go negative. And I talked about that, last week, the week before. I thought the Russell 2000 was going to run out of gas and start giving it up because it was, just so far negative there. And we'll see what happens here. Will it be able to sustain this and bounce again, or is it going to pull way back? Looks like it wants to do a big old pullback here. And we'll keep an eye on that. We can probably get rid of the Get Us Plus indicator on the daily charts for now. We'll look at that when we get to the intraday charts in the S&P 500. Okay, so that's the deal in the Russell 2000. I think it's heading towards a cycle low here. It could get a little bouncy bounce, maybe one of those, but for now, it looks like it's heading down. Let's look at the NASDAQ. Same thing here, big down day, very similar. Range of 568, so this one looks like it may be bottoming soon, maybe not. I don't know if do I have cycles on here. I think I do. October 16th, this cycle's a little bit different. October 16th. And this next one out here is November 13th. Tell you what, let's duplicate that, throw it over here. Make it yellow. November 13. Okay, so that's that one. Yeah, big down day. Let's look at the Japanese market, the Nikkei 225. You use the futures to do that. Again, all of them doing the same thing. Big, huge down day here. A range of 1730. Monster down day. Looks like it's going to do this. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the Japanese yen. Kind of a shma day. Overall, looks like Japanese yen wants to continue to head south, but still very bullish here. Today was a green day. So let me look at the daily chart. September 24th, this is the cycle low for the Japanese yen. As I talked about before, as long as this momentum stays in positive territory, then the Japanese yen will probably bounce coming out of the September 24th time frame. If it gets negative, that's a different story. We'll have to reevaluate. But for now, Japanese yen still looks pretty strong, sitting up here. All right. And let me just go see something here. I got a feeling that default cycle, needs to go away. Okay. So that's the yen. A little pullback may continue here down into the third week of September. Might get a little bounce up here first, then down. And then coming out of there, I think is going to be, like I said, long as momentum down here stays bullish above the zero line, then I would say the yen would be a long coming out of this cycle low. If it's below the zero line, then we'll talk about it. All right, let's look at the euro. Down day, slightly down. It's been down about 4 days in a row. So let's look at the daily cycle here. October 2nd is the daily cycle low. So, even though this cycle's bullish, It is very bullish because look at this peak is way above all these guys, right? But it is slightly left-hand translation here. So the cycle itself is kind of weak, but it's bullish versus the previous cycle. So very bullish here too. Very similar to the Japanese yen. As long as it stays above this zero line, then coming out of October 2nd would be a long. If it's below it, we'll talk about that too. We'll have to reevaluate. Let's look at the British pound. Similar story here. September 25th is a cycle low. 4 down days. Okay. But this thing is so bullish that, you know, when it gets done doing this, I don't know, does it get down here and do that? You know, whatever, go like this. Something like that. Right? I don't think it'll come all the way back down there. If it gets all the way back down here and this gets negative momentum, then that's a different story. But for right now, this still looks bullish, even though we're in a bearish trend at the moment. Let's look at we'll look at gold here, and we'll look at crude oil too. Gold. Gold's just on fire. I mean, even though it's got to pull back the last couple days, it's still way up here. Okay, now the momentum has crossed over up here, so we got to watch that. So pretty good chance that gold will decline here for a while, but it's so absolutely way up in bullish territory. This is September 26th. Let's move this over here. Okay. Did I say September 26th? I think I did. That's what I said. Yeah, September 26th. So that's the next cycle low. Gold looks super bullish to me. And as long as it's, again, same thing with other products, if it stays above the zero line on momentum, when it gets done doing this cycle low over here, I would say it's a long. You know, gold just continues to be maybe one of those deals. Okay, I see 3,000 in gold. Now the Federal Reserve is going. I'm going to talk about the Federal Reserve. You all know how I feel about the Federal Reserve. A bunch of jackwads and criminals. They're going to do their little rate cut here and do a little song and dance. Everybody's going to go ooh ah. The market may bounce. A lot of products may do well because of the rate cut, and that's going to be short-lived. Maybe it's a few months. Maybe it's a year. Maybe it's less. Whatever. 2 years. I don't know. If Trump gets into the White House, like I said, I think we'll temporarily see some positive things happening. If Camel Toe gets in there, get ready for absolute disastrous economic collapse with all her woke agenda and her puppet masters telling her what to do. The socialist billionaires like George and Alex Soros, who like to spend their money destroying nations, including the United States of America. So I think gold eventually, maybe not right away, but looking down the road, gold's going to probably hit 3,000. Not immediately, but somewhere down the road here, next few years, whatever, gold's going to hit 3,000 probably. Okay, it might happen after Trump gets out of the White House, if he does get in the White House. If they don't get away with stealing the election and somehow he manages to get in there, then that'll slow things down a bit. If Camel Toe gets in there, then gold's going to rocket ship. And that'll be the sign that you need that you understand how bad the Democrats really are, the Marxists. Did y'all hear about the Venezuelan armed gang up there in Aurora, Colorado, that took over some apartment complexes? Yeah, that's Camel Toe Harris's legacy right there. Open borders are. Now you got. Now think about this for a second. That's just the Venezuelans. That's not the Muslims that have come in from the Middle East or the Chinese that have come in and a bunch of other really nasty people that have crossed the border. Millions of people have crossed the border. They're not our friends, folks. They're going to steal, rob, murder, rape, pillage, whatever they can do to take what isn't theirs. They just see the United States as ripe for the taking. And I'm telling you right now, Americans better be vigilant. They better be prepared to defend themselves because it's coming. Okay, you think Israel's got it bad? Get prepared to do what Israel has to do. I'm serious. Be prepared. Because if these idiots, these criminals get into the White House, and Camel Toe gets in there with her puppet masters, pulling the puppet strings, get ready. That's just the beginning. Okay? There's a thing called the Second Amendment. You got to take a close look at it. For all you that are afraid of guns, let me give you a little hint. If you don't appreciate the right to bear arms in the United States, you're either going to suffer the consequences because you're too afraid of firearms and think firearms are just bad, or you're going to be standing behind somebody who has firearms and you might get lucky to defend your life. Maybe you get lucky, but I wouldn't count on that. Yeah. What are you going to do when Venezuelan gangs show up in your neighborhood? You going to call the police? Throw some sticks at them? Oh my gosh. What are we going to do? They broke into our house. Yeah. Okay. If you didn't watch the video, go watch the video. That's what's in America. Yeah, all you Democrats that are burying your head in the sand and voting for the left, go watch the Venezuelan armed gang that broke into apartments up in Aurora, Colorado, and just assume for a second that's your house in your neighborhood instead. And then tell me who you're voting for? Yeah, you know what? It's your own damn fault because you voted for this crap. Yeah, you are to blame. 100%. The left. You're to blame. There's no getting away from it. It's your responsibility what you allowed to come into the nation. If they break down your front door and come and rob and steal and pillage and murder and rape you and your family, you got no one to blame. Look in the mirror. That's you. You and your open border bullshit. All right, gold is probably going to go to 3,000 eventually. Okay, it's just a matter of who gets into the White House, song and dance for a few years, or happens right away. Either way, it's going to happen. Okay, let's take a look at crude oil. Daily chart. September 30th is a cycle. Look at this monster pullback today. 72. I'm sorry, $4.31 or 4 points. 4 1/3 points drop today in crude oil. Huge, massive pullback. I said crude oil was weak. It looked weak. I've been talking about that for the last week or two. That I didn't think any bounce was going to survive, and it hasn't. This is left-hand translation stuff going on in this cycle. This crude oil is going to take a huge dive. I could see it getting down to $60. Yeah, maybe get down to the low 60s, mid-low 60s, and we're already there. We're at 70. I could see it get down to the low 60s. Crude oil is going to take a dump. Big old fart. And that's where it's headed. This does not look good. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. What's going on the weekly chart with crude oil? Yeah. Crude oil went negative here on the weekly chart. Back in, let's see, when did it happen? When did it happen? Officially went negative August 12th, the week of August 12th. Okay? Week of August 12th went negative, and I think it's in bad shape. Crude oil is going to take a massive old dumpster. And let's see, how low did he get over here? 67. Wow. I could see crude oil getting to low 60s. Could happen. All right. Let's take a look. You know, I want to look at silver. I guess I'll use SIL. There's a couple different ones. I'm not sure what this is. It looks like it might be the daily. Let's get rid of these cycles. Let's get them out of there. Yeah, that's fairly decent. Kind of okay. We'll stay with that one. Kind of okay. Yes. Yes-ish. Yes. Kind of yes. And then it kind of falls apart back here. It's okay over there too. So this cycle is just okay. It looks fairly decent. Okay. So let's see. Where's this at? September 24th. All right. September 24th. All right. That's what that is. Do that. Top. Boom. September 24th, there it is. That's a cycle low. This has come down right in the middle, smack dab in the middle of that cycle. Kind of typical. But it didn't get up to this high here. And it probably won't. I mean, if it does some amazing takeoff, then drop, okay. But that's probably not going to happen. So gold looks like it's going to go down. Looking weak. This cycle is weaker than the previous cycle, so gold will probably continue to go down. All right, silver. Duh. Yeah, silver. Let's say this is daily cycle, so I don't have to do it again later. Daily. And then on the default, we can just get rid of that. And get rid of that. All right, so that's your silver cycle, September 24th. Looking kind of weak here. Could get a little bounce once the SMI bottoms here. Once this bottoms, and it might do a bouncy bounce, so that could happen like this, maybe something like that, okay? Kind of like that. All right. I want to look at corn. Let's take a look at corn. What is happening with corn? Big old bounce going on here. So corn's finally kind of got out of its little absolute. I wouldn't say it's out of the woods, so to speak, but it's definitely trying to make an effort here. And it's still negative. But if it gets up above over here, then that's a different story. So this is probably going to run out of gas and then head down into September 17th. So maybe it gets back up to 420. Okay, I don't know if it'll take out this high up here in the previous cycle. I'm guessing no, but it might, and then do that. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on it. So for now, it's got a little bit of a bullish run going on here, but I don't think it's going to last. I think it's going to run out of gas. So that's corn. Corn is seasonal, so make sure you go back and kind of look at, if you're going to trade corn, make sure you go back and look at what does it do as it gets into autumn. You know, kind of sometimes you'll see a pattern there certain times of year. All right, let's take a look at the S&P 500. We're going to look at the futures to do it. Daily chart. I'm surprised I don't have a date over there. Could have swore I put a date there, 11/13. I don't mind putting it on there. Let's do it. November 13. Okay. Again, right around election time. Okay. A lot of stuff going on election time. So we're going to probably see quite a few products drop going into election time. All right. Slide that over a little bit, line it up. I guess we can make this yellow. Yep. There we go. So there you go. S&P 500, huge down day, 153, one of the biggest down days we had in quite a while. Massive down day. And it's finally kind of made a decision to give it up a little bit here. So we're doing that. Looks like it's trying to cross over. Momentum's still bullish. If it drops below the zero line here, it gets below that, that's a different story. If that happens, watch out. And here's the middle of the cycle, right? This big old cycle. So if it really gets down here, like just takes a big drop, which it probably won't do, but if it does it, and this gets negative, watch out. That means the bounce will probably fail and then roll over, right? It won't be able to get up here again, up into this area and take out the highs. All right. I really thought, you know, I'm not always right. I really thought this right here had a very bullish signal to it. Okay. But it is huge 153-day range. I thought this thing was going to go to the moon and take out this high. It hasn't done it. We get this big red day. So the picture could be changing here. Okay. Just maybe the picture's changing. Need a little more data to know for sure, but that's what it's beginning to look like. Yeah, look at that. This just looks like it has more room to go. Like it's got more room to go here. All right, but for now, that big old down day is not enough to say that the bullish run has ended on the daily chart, but it's certainly very convincing. Okay, that's a big monster down day. Massive. 153. When's the last time we had a day like that? 141. 137. 225. That was a Japanese yen collapse thingy. Or the Japanese yen took off, one or the other. Yeah. November 13th, way out here. So, you know, more than 2 months away for the cycle low. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the intraday charts. Where was the trade of the day? Let's look at those charts. Oh my. Look at that. 2:45 this morning, and then again at 4 a.m. Telling you, if you're not trading futures, you're missing out. Look at this. And again right here, both these puppies. Beautiful signals. The beginning of a massive crash and bang and boom. This right here is a beautiful thing. It rolls over, starts going down. Momentum goes negative on the 15-minute chart, and it just stayed negative from early this morning or late last night. That was basically the London market coming in there, and it's just been negative ever since. And big crash and boom, 153 points of beautiful profit taking. Absolutely massive. Look at this. There's your signals. Get us plus indicator. Once again, for the last 3 years, 2-3 years, this indicator has been absolutely ripping, making a lot of money for a lot of people. If you're not a member, you're missing out. $7.99 a month. This is on the streaming charts, available to members 5 days a week. The charts stream 23 hours a day because futures basically are around the clock. Both S&P 500 and gold are streamed. And yes, the Get Us Plus indicator is also on the gold charts as well as the S&P 500 futures chart. Okay. If you're a conservative, come on and join. You're going to really like the server. The environment's conservative-oriented environment. If you're a leftist Democrat, yeah, you can join, but don't spew your garbage on my server, because if you do, you're going to get booted. Come join, make a bunch of bank. That's what we do here. Absolute massive, beautiful signals right here. Doesn't get any better than that. I can't even begin to tell how much money was made here. This is just, I can. Let's just say it came in at 56.50. We'll be conservative. All the way down to 56, what? 40. Or 55.40, sorry. 120 point run. Add the zeros. Divide by 2. One contract of the S&P 500 netted you 6,000 biggins today. 6,000. $6,000 in this run. And $600 for the micros if that's all you can afford. That's fine. So take your pick. Bigger accounts made 6,000. Small accounts made 600. Okay, let me ask you something. Does that look like it's money they could pay for $7.99 for the rest of your life for the membership? I think so. All right, that pretty much covers it for today. If you want to join, there's a link in the description of this video. Just make sure you read the instructions. Click on it, join. Come join a great environment. Make a bunch of money. I think that's all I got to say for now. Happy trading, everybody. God bless everybody. Talk to all real soon again. Next time, oh, one more thing. Join me tomorrow morning. I'm going to be on Twitch live stream from 7 to 8 o'clock Central Daylight Time here in Texas. So if you want to know what's going to happen before the market opens, I'm going to cover all these products again, but give my opinion about where they're headed for the day. All right, that's it. Talk to you all again next time.